vacate the place, but the Fenris Rangers keep our money there. 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 It is my job. It's not saving the galaxy. It's helping people who have no one else to help them. It's hopeless and pointless and exhausting, and the only thing worse would be giving up.
Let's talk Star Trek Picard episode 5. In this episode, we find ourselves starting off with a flashback about, I think, 13 years ago. So in this flashback, we see that Icheb from Star Trek Voyager is back. Obviously, it's not the same actor. I don't know why. But he's also immediately killed off, rather a mercy killing by 7 of 9, because apparently he's a Starfleet officer, and he was on some planet where his Borg parts were being taken out to be sold. We learn later on. There's this group in the galaxy that likes to take former Borg drones and take their parts and sell them, and they killed him brutally. And then we come back, and then we, I can't believe they killed him. And this kind of relates to my previous video on nihilism in Star Trek, a lack of respect for life, just murder upon murder upon murder. And watch that video for full context of why, what I have to say. This episode showed us Picard going to this planet in order to find the location of Bruce Maddox, as well as to find the other twin. And on this planet, we see that they do manage to find some people that are holding Bruce Maddox hostage. They also happen to be led by this lady that was responsible for Icheb's death. They managed to retrieve Bruce Maddox from that area, and 7 of 9 is about to kill her, but Picard manages to convince her temporarily, and they go back on the ship and have this moment where she's like, "Did you ever get your humanity back, Picard? After you became a Borg?" And he said, "Completely, yes." He said yes, and she said, "Completely?" He said, "No." And basically Picard still has hope in the galaxy, and 7 obviously doesn't, since Icheb is dead. And she beams back down and she vaporizes this chick, right? And it's done in such a way that it's justified, but it's done also in another such a way that we've had like 3 or 4 or whatever amount of death in one episode. The body count on the show is so high. It's just so unnerving to watch this. It's not because I'm against the gore or the violence, but in Star Trek, to this level, to this consistency, even when Klingons and Worf killed Duras, it wasn't that graphic, right? Star Trek always had a way of making it not that type of way. But anyways, we find out, and then Bruce Maddox is killed at the end by freaking Girardi for some odd reason. Is she like some hidden freaking secret agent? Like, he's killed in such an unceremonious way. Like, wow. Just wow. And apparently there's this big conspiracy in the Federation. I don't know if this is the same conspiracy we had in the season in one of the season 1 episode near the end, with those little freaking worms inside of people, those little parasites. But I'm assuming it has to do with the Romulans. And if you watched Red Letter Media, they have this theory that the Romulans were responsible for the Borg or something. It's going to be revealed, and that's why that secret organization hates artificial AIs. Bruce Maddox reveals that there's some conspiracy in the Federation as well. So anyways, they find out that Solji is in a Borg cube from Maddox on the artifact, and in the next episode that's where they're gonna go. That's where they're gonna go. So this episode, I don't know. Most of my thoughts on it, and Trek in general, was in my previous video. This is just done for ceremonious purposes. I found it a lot of talking. Like I said, I'm a little bit bored by the show overall. And just like I said, this doesn't feel like Star Trek. Even when we see the planets, when we see all these things, I know it's an expensive show, 8+, but when it comes to Star Trek, D-, son, D-. This episode gets a 5 out of 10 for me, average, just middle of the road. Not even average, probably less than average, but It was nice to see 7, but she just loses all hope. Like I said, what's with all these characters losing hope or telling Picard off? And we also see money. The Fenris Rangers have their money there. Like, why do we have money? What happened to there being no money in the 21st century, according to Picard in the Federation? Like, why are they using money? Why are humans using money? They don't need it. Like, money is now a thing now. It's to such a large degree. Like, even when with the Ferengi introducing gold pressed platinum, you just never felt it in DS9 about money in the same way you do here. This just feels, I don't know, this universe is rubbing me the wrong way. I don't feel like I'm watching Star Trek. I'll continue to watch it. It's called Star Trek. The license is owned. It's an institution at this point. But like I said, it's a 5 out of 10 for me. I'll make more rambling videos and theories later that'll expand upon my thoughts. But this episode, it was okay. The previous episode was a little bit better. Just the killing is just, I don't know. Anyways, guys, comment, like, subscribe. Have a good one.